Hello guys, this is Eden Zero, Chapter 7, The Iron Tears. Now before I begin I should probably mention that yes, I have read the first 6 chapters obviously, although I haven't reviewed them, and I did like all 6 of them, and I'm very interested and intrigued by this world that Hiromashima has created so far, and I hope it's gonna continue being this great. Anyway, onwards to the chapter now. Now, there are 3 main points to take away from this chapter: Lavilla, Pino, and Weiss. Now, let's start off with Lavilla because, quite frankly, she's the person that's the least to actually talk about out of all of the 3. And really all there really is to say about her is that, well, she's on the cover page, which isn't really much, not the most exciting thing, but I do think it confirms that she's not gone from the story. She is going to make her return in some way. I don't necessarily think she's going to become a villain. She was really bitchy, yes, and she was really bitchy, yes, and she did make Rebecca cry and draw poop, apparently, which I guess is very fitting as her autograph. But I don't really see her as a villain, maybe more like that kind of antagonistic, rivalish thingamajig. But although, to be honest, I am kind of intrigued by what's gonna happen to a character in the future, but not really a lot to talk about, so let's go on to what I think is honestly the best part of this entire chapter. e.m.pino, or just Pino for short. The fact that her name kinda sounds like EMP isn't a coincidence either. That's because she can create EMPs. We also find out that that's why Shiki's ether gear suddenly stopped working, and as we find out this chapter, that habit just basically dies for several seconds, which is pretty horrifying when you think about it. Overall, she seems to be rather kind-hearted and even agrees to become Shiki's friend. Unfortunately, things start to get kinda dark from here. And when I say unfortunately, I don't mean that as necessarily a negative for the series. In fact, I think it's great for the series. I say unfortunately because I felt really bad when we saw her memories. We found out that she's apparently lost her master and doesn't even remember who her previous master is, and is therefore taken in by Seabear, who, well, pretty much, let's just say straight up, tortures her and rips off her leg and just replaces it with a nail. Ugh. Honestly, the entire flashback thing is really well done because throughout it all I felt increasingly more and more angry toward Seabear, as in I just wanted this guy to go down, and I felt more and more sympathy and sorrow towards Pino, and I just wanted her to be rescued. This is great because now it's not just, oh, good guys doing good guy things. I'm actively rooting for them because I already care about it, which I have to say, big thumbs up to Hiromashima for making me care this much about a character in just 1 chapter. Now apparently Seabear is planning to use her EMP ability for some kind of evil plot, which we don't really know the specifics of yet, but it's pretty obviously it can't be good. And surprisingly enough, we find out that she is actually from the future, and more specifically, the same timeline that Shiki and Rebecca were sent back from. So, as Rebecca points out, Seabear is already messing with the past because she's getting technology from the future, so there really isn't any reason for them to not interfere at this point. And of course, the last question about Pino is, who is her actual original master? Now, when the case first was opened, she said she thought she heard her master, which is why she woke up. Which to me implies that it's either Weiss or Shiki that's somehow her master in the future. It's either Weiss because, well, in the future he becomes a professor and builds complex technology like, for instance, Happy, or Shiki because he's, well, a mechanic. Although, in Shiki's case, I don't think he's capable of actually building robots, so if he's the master, that means he probably didn't build Pino, he just repaired her, maybe because she was thrown away and became her master, but that would mean it's in a future that hasn't happened yet for him. So I don't know, I'm more on the side of Weiss being her future master in some way, but I guess we'll find out. Which leads us to the last important point of the chapter, which is Weiss. If that's even how you pronounce his name, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't have too much to say about him, except the fact that it's pretty much confirmed to us by the bunny girl that, yeah, in this timeline he's pretty much a scumbag and a thief, and overall not really a good person in the slightest. And this is kind of a surprise to Rebecca, because apparently he's completely different in the future, where he's even lecturing them about how stealing is bad. So of course the question now is, when he was a better person in the future and someone who told Rebecca that stealing was bad, is that because he remembers meeting older Rebecca and Shiki and meeting them changed him for the good? Or did he do that on his own and this is changing their history? Of course, this is kind of important because once Shiki and Rebecca do go back to the previous time, which I'm sure will happen, the question is, will it be the same timeline as it was when they left? Or will something be different? I'm very curious and excited to find out exactly what happens here. Anyway, that's really all I had to say about this chapter. I hope you all enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment if you want. And well, this is me signing out.